folks, Rachana Ranade here, and I welcome you all to another interesting session which is titled as Gem from the Live Stream. Now, what is this? I'll quickly tell you. Every Thursday at 9 p.m. I do conduct live stream wherein so many of you ask me questions that, ma'am, how do you feel this stock is? How do you feel this stock is placed fundamentally, this stock is placed technically? Then I have my own parameters based on which I tell either it's a below average stock or an average stock or above average stock. In that, I also say that, this fits into my basic parameters and we need to do further analysis for this stock. Now, till date, I have never ever discussed it on my channel that how to do a further analysis of the stocks which we have discussed during the live stream. And that is what exactly we are going to do today. Out of all the stocks which you had asked me, I have tried to find a gem and I'm going to discuss that stock in absolute detail. Before we move ahead, let me tell you that we have discussed about one more gem from the live stream which we have uploaded in the blog section on our website. You can check out the link of this blog in the description box. But when do you have to check that out? After completing this video. So let's move ahead. Well, the name of the company that we are going to analyze today is Oriental Aromatics Limited. Let me warn you at the outset that it is a small cap company. Why am I warning you? Because generally on our channel, we do discuss large caps and mid caps. That's why I thought of just mentioning this in the beginning of the video, right? So first of all, before digging down into balance sheet, into P&L, as usual, let's try and answer the question that what does the company do? The company is mainly into the manufacture of what? Number one, fine chemicals. Simple example of fine chemicals can be camphor, Kapoor, not Anil Kapoor, okay, whatever. Second thing that the company manufactures is specialty aroma chemicals, and the third one is fragrances and flavors. We will try and understand all these three segments in detail in the immediate next part of the video. I just talked about three terms. One was fine chemicals, example I gave camphor. I think that is okay. You have understood that. Second one was a specialty aroma chemical. Okay, and the third one which I talked about was flavors and fragrances. I think for the second and third term, a little bit more explanation is required. For that, let's take a very simple example. Okay, if I'm talking about manufacture of any product, which are the three basic stages? The very first one is raw material, then we have an intermediate, and then we have a final product. Simple? Yes. Now, if I'm talking about aromatic chemicals or if I'm talking about fragrances, okay, first thing, where am I going to get that aroma or fragrance from? It could be from trees, like let's say a pine tree, or it could be from flowers, it could be from leaves, whatever. Okay, but how am I going to extract the aroma from that? I need it to be soluble in something. Soluble in what? It could be in water, or let's say it could be in petroleum. Okay, so from this, I can say that's like a source of raw material. Okay, from this, an intermediate product is prepared. Now, what could be the intermediate product? That is nothing but the specialty aroma chemical. Okay, now from this raw material to this intermediate product, how did it turn into an intermediate product? Of course, some sort of chemical process might have taken, like something like evaporation, condensation, whatever. This chemical process took place and we got that intermediate product, which is that specialty aroma chemical. Okay, can people like you and me directly use that chemical? No, absolutely not. Then what happens is that this chemical is used to make the finished product. Finished product examples, agarbatti, which has the fragrance. It can be deodorants, it could be perfumes, it could be shampoos, it could be detergents, what not. Okay, so I hope you have understood how the entire process takes place. Why I thought of explaining this in detail, because this is the very first company that we are discussing on our channel which is into aromatics. The company is a pioneer in terpene chemistry in India, and it is only one of the 10 completely integrated flavors, fragrances and aroma chemical manufacturing companies in the world. So I think that's quite a big achievement for a small cap company, right? What does the company again manufacture? Because when I use the word terpene, I'm sure terpene chemistry. So what is terpene? So just to give you a simple meaning of terpene, they are nothing but highly aromatic compounds. Oh my god, too much of chemistry, right? So aromatic, simple. Compound. Now what is compound? I'm sure you have studied this way back in school. Just a very simple example can be 2 atoms of H and 1 atom of O put together is nothing but a compound which is H2O. And guess which song it will sing? मैं पानी पानी हो गई. Okay, anyways, a proper example can be of camphor, because if I'm talking about an aromatic compound, camphor formula is C10H16O. And what is that? That is also a compound. I hope you have understood very clearly about the products of the company and how does it stand out, how is it different from other companies. I hope you have understood the product of this small company. You know, all these small things matter a lot. Example can be that small like button which you can see right on the screen. So what you have to do is just pause the video, just hit that like button and then continue with the video. Oriental Aromatics was founded way back in 1955 by Mr. Keshavlal Bodani. Initially, they started only with manufacturing synthetic camphor, and they had their only manufacturing plant in Bareilly, Uttar Pradesh. In 2008, the promoters of the company acquired a controlling stake in a listed company which is Camphor and Allied Products Limited. Well, in 2017, both these companies were merged and the new company was renamed as Oriental Aromatics Limited. Let's talk about the geographical presence of the company. The company has two centers which fully focus on research. One is in Mumbai and the other one is at Ambernath. The Mumbai center focuses on research related to aroma chemicals and Ambernath center focuses on flavors and fragrances. Remember, I had said that the company is a small cap. So where does it export to? How many countries does it export to? It exports to 33 countries. Oh my God, only in Asia? Only in Africa? In Europe? No, wait. Have a look at this. It exports not only in Africa, not only in Asia, it also exports to European countries, in North America, in South America. I think that's surely an achievement for any small cap company. Have a look at the list of these customers of the company. I'm sure the moment you hear about this name Vinny, आजकल क्या चलता है? आजकल fog चलता है. Something like that. There was an advertisement, right? So, who is the customer of this company? It's Fog wala brand, which is Vinny. Vinny is the name of the company, obviously. Then, if I'm talking about detergents, it's Nirma. They have ITC. They have Godrej, Marico, Imami, D-Mart, Bajaj. Oh my God, I'm sure all these names are absolutely familiar to you. But there are some customers which are not really familiar to you. Which are these? Like Takasago, Mane or Main or whatever. IFF, Roberite, Simra, whatever. These names are not known to us. Why? Now see the bifurcation carefully. The comparatively lesser knowns are the customers for aroma chemical segment. You remember? Intermediary product. Okay. And flavors and fragrances, which was like the final product. These are the ones like which will be used in perfumes, in agarbattis and all that. These are the companies which we are very much familiar with, right? So I hope you have understood that they have a good customer base as well. And why is the split something like this? Some are known, some are unknown. I hope you have understood the reason for that as well. Let's do a quick analysis of this sector now. In 2019, the entire chemical industry in India stood at $178 billion and it is expected to reach $304 billion by 2025 at a CAGR of 9.3%. Okay. Now, out of the entire chemical sector, 22% constitutes specialty chemicals, and this chunk, 22%, is expected to grow at a rate of 12% CAGR in the years 2019 to 2022. What all did we understand about the company till now? We talked about what does the company do. We talked about its products. We talked about the raw material, intermediate and final product. Then we talked about how the company was formed and how the company got merged and how it got listed. Then we talked about the geographical presence. We said that in spite of being a small cap, it has a presence in 33 countries. It exports to 33 countries of the world. After that, we also talked about some of its key clients which we know like Nirma, Vinny, D-Mart and many more customers we did talk about, right? Then we also talked about the sectoral analysis. At what pace is the overall chemical sector expected to grow? How is the specialty chemicals sector expected to grow? So I think with all this information in hand, Now we can finally move on with the financial analysis. So let's start one by one. Obviously, what is the sequence that we always follow? First, we do a top line analysis, then EBITDA analysis, and then bottom line, that is the PAT analysis, right? Shall we start? Say yes. Yes. Okay, so revenue from operations, it has gone up from 45,775 lakhs to 70,884 lakhs. It translates into a CAGR, 5-year CAGR of 15%, 3-year CAGR of 12%, and a TTM CAGR of 25%. What is TTM? Trailing 12 months. That is the immediate previous 12 months, right? EBITDA has grown from 5686 lakhs to 15,507 lakhs with a 5-year CAGR of 36%, 3-year CAGR of 50%, and TTM of 66% EBITDA growth. That is also quite good. If you see, even EBITDA margins have improved from 12.41% to 21.88%. As a thumb rule, higher the better, because these are about profit margins, right? Next one is PAT. How about PAT and PAT margin? PAT has grown from financial year 17 to financial year 21 from 2,789 lakhs to 10,194 lakhs, and that's also a decent enough increase. The PAT margin has grown from 6.1% to 14.38%. How about the net worth? Net worth has also very steadily increased from 31,650 lakhs to 55,729 lakhs. How about ROE and ROC? Both are in the increasing trend. ROE and ROCE were respectively 8.79% and 11.07% in financial year 17, and in the year financial year 21 they have gone up to 18.29% and 25.46% respectively. ROE, ROCE, that's again a very good number. If I'm talking about the net debt to equity ratio now, you only tell me, lower the better. Obviously yes, and it has gone down from 0.31 in FY17 to only 0.1 in FY 2021. Let's move on with the quarterly financial analysis. I'm sure by now it's by heart that whenever I do a quarterly financial analysis, it has to be a YOY comparison and then a QOQ comparison. YOY comparison, of course, we are going to talk about June 21 versus June 20. Here you can see that revenue from operations have grown at 104%. Kya baat hai? EBITDA grown at 89%. EBIT grown at 129%. Net profit grew at 130% and basic EPS grew at 129%. Oh my God, asa kasa kai? Reason is very simple. June 20 was the first lockdown. So obviously at that time majority of the companies were shut down. So obviously revenues were less, EBITDA was less, profit was also less. So I'm comparing a normal quarter with an abnormal quarter. So margins and changes have to be like very different. Now let's do a QOQ comparison, which will give you a comparatively realistic picture. So now what are we going to compare June 21 with March 21? Here you can see that revenue from operations has grown at 4%. EBITDA has grown at 3%. EBIT grew at 3%. Net profit grew at 10%. Still very good number. And basic EPS grew at 7%. I hope this quarterly financial analysis is absolutely clear. So now let's do a quick peer comparison. I am on screener.in. What I've done is I've just typed out Oriental Aromatics Limited, right? So I'm just going down and down and down, and here I can see peer comparison. The only problem is that it compares this company with a lot of hardcore chemical companies. So when I tried to do some analysis, I found that SH Kelkar is a company which is into aromatics. Okay, so I thought that it is very much close to whatever the company does. So what I can do is that in peers, towards the end here you can see detailed comparison with, and I just hit SH Kelkar here, and here I get an absolute detailed peer comparison. The only thing is that if I'm not mistaken, this is a paid version thing. So if you want, you can just check out the link in the description box. This video is not sponsored by Screener, but still you can check out the link of this website in the description box. Anyways, let's go ahead. Peer comparison, you can see Oriental Aromatics versus SH Kelkar. What is important? Let us say first, let's talk about the stock PE. Oriental is slightly trading higher. PE is more higher as compared to SH Kelkar. But if you check out the industry PE, it is 25.13. So both are below the industry PE. If I check out the ROE, ROCE, in both aspects, Oriental is higher than its peer. If I check out the sales growth for last 3 years, again the company is better as compared to its peer. But if I talk about sales growth of 1 year, the peer has performed a shade better than Oriental. But if I talk about again one more important point, which is debt to equity, for this company it is way too less as compared to SH Kelkar and company. And very important point, pledged shares for this company is 0, whereas for its peer it is 6.08 6.08. So that is a remarkable difference. One bad point about Oriental is that the free cash flow last year was in negative, whereas for its peer was 164.93. But all in all, barring this one point, I don't see any bad highlight points for this company. I can say that in majority key areas it is outperforming its peer. Quickly talk about few strengths of the company and few weaknesses about the company. Currently, the company I feel has a good future, and they also are running all their plants at 100% capacity utilization. In fact, they have expansion plans at Baroda, Bareilly and Mahad. If I'm talking about promoters holding, that is also at a good level. If I'm talking about their net profit, if I'm talking about their reserves, that is also continuously increasing. Whereas if I'm talking about their borrowings are continuously decreasing. I hope few strengths of the company are absolutely clear. What could be the weaknesses of the company? Weaknesses, I think two main points I would want to talk about. Number one, it's a small cap. Now you might be like, if it's a small cap, that's a weakness. Come on. I'll tell you my thought process behind it. Currently, market is almost at an all-time high. So if the market corrects, सबसे पहले क्या पिटता है? The very first thing which falls down is a small cap, followed by mid cap and then large caps. So these small caps can see a big beating if market corrects. So be careful on that. That's why I'm saying that it's a weakness. Okay. And the second thing is that DIIs, these are the domestic institutional investors, don't hold even 0.1% stake in the company. FIIs were also not holding even 0.01% stake in the company. Until the previous quarter, in June quarter, we saw that FIIs are holding 0.04% stake in the company. I know that's very less, but at least I think for the first time, at least FIIs have shown some interest in the company. Hope you enjoyed this video of a small cap company and of a gem which had come straight from our live stream discussions. If you have loved the video, don't forget to share it with your friends, relatives. Until then, do your own research. Jai Hind and bye-bye.